Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew podcast. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, event, sports-related news, or athlete. This week, we are checking in with our Ohio sports teams, and I am joined by the Scarlet Witch of Sports, the host of the Tortured Sports Fans... let me try that again. The Tortured Sports Fans Department podcast, Amy Harber. Amy, thanks for jumping on the podcast. How's it going?
It's going great. And yes, that is a mouthful. And hopefully I don't get sued by Taylor Swift.
I mean,
A little cease and desist order between friends.
yeah, it's all good. You know, the way that you could spin that, hey, I am doing this and, doing an homage to you, maybe,
Exactly.
I guess. Yeah.
Every episode is named after a Taylor Swift song or lyric or reference.
There you go.
It's
And
nothing but love.
And Taylor Swift is now in the sports zeitgeist, whether or not people in sports actually like it or not. So whatever, it's all good. And also, in your defense, I also can't read good, so it's fine. It's
the
fine.
Derek Zoolander School for people who can't read good.
Yep, that is me in a nutshell. So, Amy, to introduce you to our podcast audience, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into podcasting and how you got into, or how Ohio sports became your thing.
I am Buckeye born and bred.
Explains,
I grew up
that explains everything.
I grew up in a small town called New Carlisle. It's near Springfield. No, we don't eat dogs and cats. And if you don't know where Springfield is, then go to Dayton. And if you don't know where Dayton is, go to Columbus. So sometimes I'm just like, I'm from Columbus. Like it's like 40 miles west of Columbus.
Got it. Okay.
So like I grew up watching Buckeyes football. My parents were big Reds fans, but somehow I ended up a Gurdians fan. And I grew up with the Bengals, the Browns on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just born, bred, raised, all Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I have a degree in broadcast journalism with an emphasis in sports from the University of Findlay. I have a European history degree from the Ohio State University. But also while I was there, I interned with the Columbus Crew. I actually helped open their first stadium. So that's a little bit of my background. I also worked for about 2 years as a sports journalist before going back to Ohio State for my second degree.
Wow, you're not fucking around when it comes to sports. So
Nope.
Cool. I'm looking forward to this. So the degree from the Ohio State University, that's kind of quite a change there.
Yeah, I was like, I think it ended up, I wanted to get into the School of Business and then I couldn't. I realized math is hard. And then I was like, well, crap, I'm here. I got to pick some kind of major for my second degree. And I was like, okay, here's the deal. I want to do like sports related documentaries and stuff. So let me get this history degree. That way, I've got all the like research knowledge and stuff. And then it became, well, let's maybe go to law school or let's maybe get a master's and work at like a sports museum or something. And then it just didn't, because while I was there, I started modeling and I was supposed to go to New York. 9/11 happened. That didn't pan out. So then I ended up in Los Angeles. And I'm modeling in Los Angeles, which, of course, if you go and model in Los Angeles, you're eventually going to be at least acting in commercials. But then I started acting in commercials, small films, independent films, which then became TV. And here we are.
Very, very nice with that. Also, do you have a story behind the Scarlet Witch of Sports that you're willing to share?
So the Scarlet Witch of Sports is because I fully said that when the White Sox signed Mike Clevenger, and after he was not suspended by Major League Baseball for domestic violence situations, including allegedly throwing used
Allegedly.
chewing tobacco on his infant child of like 4 months old, I was like, I'm going to hex this guy. I am going to do it in front of God and everyone. And I literally, there is a shop in Rogers Park of Chicago. Can I name the shop?
Go ahead. Yeah, fine.
It's called Malloway Brothers. And I was like, look, there's this baseball player. He's bad news bears. And they were like, here, buy this, sprinkle it on the dugout. So then I did it, and it was the Reds, White Sox, or wait, was it Reds? No, I think it was Reds, White Sox, or it was Phillies, White Sox. It was at the beginning of the season anyway. I sprinkled this crap on the dugout, and then the White Sox lost like 15 games in a row, and angry tweets, people calling me to be banned. They were like, this witch, da 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 da. And then I like Marvel and I like DC too, but I was like, okay. They're like, oh, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna own this and be the freaking Scarlet Witch because I had my mom's Reds jacket on. And so they were like, oh, it's Scarlet Witch here. And I was like, I'm just gonna lean into this.
Yeah. Might as
Yeah, and now I cosplay as the Scarlet Witch and I go maybe curse Yankee Stadium as well for the Yankees eliminating the Guardians in the ALCS. I'm not saying the curse is cursing, but they've had some problems since then. They lost Juan Soto. Giancarlo Stanton's like getting tested for like tendonitis in both elbows. And now I saw something earlier, a notification came up on my phone about Garrett Cole. And I was like, ooh, is the curse cursing?
Garrett Cole, he's being evaluated for injuries because his 2 starts were during spring training were terrible. So
I'm going to be getting more hate mail.
I don't want to say that's you, but it feels an awful lot like that is you.
I mean, I'm just saying, look at the White Sox record the past 2 years after they've signed Mike Clevenger both times.
Yeah, it's been a pretty horrendous go for all of Chicago sports, but for somehow the White Sox to be pretty close to the bottom of that, that's pretty incredible. So
I was in Europe after our initial Scarlet Witch incident with the White Sox. I literally left to go to Europe for like 2 weeks. And I was at one point going, if the White Sox don't win a game soon, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come home. Because I was getting so many hate tweets.
Gotta love Twitter, right? Twitter is just the best means of communication that there is out there right now. It's just great.
I know. It's just a beautiful pool of love and kumbaya hugs.
Yeah, just like the current state of the country now. So that's awesome. So all right. So let's get into a happier topic. Let's talk about sports. So I made a list of all the possible sports teams that we could talk about. And selfishly, as a basketball fan, I'd love to talk Cleveland Cavaliers because as of tonight, or as of, I don't remember when exactly, but they have already clinched a playoff spot, and they are by far and away by record at minimum, the best team in the NBA right now. And Kenny Atkinson has a pretty much a lock on coach of the year this year, unless JJ Redick somehow pulls it out and LA starts advertising for him and campaigning for him hardcore. But you'd be pretty hard pressed to not pick Kenny Atkinson for the job that he's done in Cleveland. And man, the Cavaliers have got a great team. So how you feeling about Cleveland's prospects for the rest of the season?
I am happily thrilled. At the beginning of the NBA season, of course, it was, the end of MLB, and I was just like, well, I just need the Cavs and the Blue Jackets. I was like, it's not going to be good. I just need them to get me to February. I really just I just need them to get me. I was like, I have Ohio State. I was like, I just need you to get me through January and February. That's all I need. And I've been pleasantly surprised and blessed with both the Cavs and the Blue Jackets, considering especially the circumstances with the Blue Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Cavs went on like that 15-0 run to start the season, I was like,
holy shit. Yeah, this is awesome.
Okay. I like lean back and I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to do something here. Then it got to, I think, like Christmas, and they'd only lost like 4 or 5 games at that point. And I was like, okay, I guess we're going to do this.
This is sustainable. It's not just like a lucky streak, and they were playing shit teams. They won a lot of great games during that 15-game initial winning streak, and that's tied for like one of the longest winning streaks to start a season ever. So I was very happy for the Cavaliers, considering I'm a Bulls fan, so it's hard for me to root for the Cavaliers, but this team, just between Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen, that's just a great starting lineup.
Ty Jerome has really pulled out some game winners, some clutch shots. Yeah, but that I think the one that stuck out in the mind for me the most, I think it was against Detroit, was that Darius Garland half-point shot at the buzzer to win the game. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, feels very much like a team of destiny right now. And that's great, because right now the Eastern Conference sucks right now for basketball, because teams that were projected to do better aren't doing as hot this year. Like the Knicks are not as good as they were last year, and Tom Thibodeau is going to continue to run people into the ground until they're starting like their 12th man eventually. But then you've got Boston out there, and Boston is the big one that everybody is chasing right now, because they're the defending NBA champs, and everybody is widely suspecting that Boston is going to come out of the East. But you can't sleep on the Cavaliers and what they've done, because they played Boston very well.
Celtics found out what happens when you sleep on the Cavaliers. They were leading by 22 points, and Jason Tatum was running his mouth, and I didn't see him running his mouth at the end of the game.
It's weird how stuff like that, tends to come back on certain people.
However, I will say, in about the past 3 games, for 3 or 4 games for the Cavs, and I don't know if they're doing it just to maybe challenge themselves, but I wish they would stop it. They want to play with their food before they kill it in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left. They just want to sit there and play with their food and keep the game close. And I was like, well, maybe
we stop.
Maybe Kenny, maybe Kenny's trying to, like challenge them for the playoffs or whatever. But it's like you see them taking, more at-risk shots and stuff. And I was like, can we not do this? Can we maybe not? I understand. Maybe save that for practice. But yeah, like the past 4 games or so, they've just been playing with their food before they kill it.
Well,
like a cat with a mouse.
The problem that the Cavaliers are going to have the rest of the season is they've already made the playoffs. And right now they are very much like they're way ahead of the Celtics for like, I think it would be a pretty drastic decline for the Celtics to actually catch up to the Cavaliers. So just if they just keep maintaining what they're doing and they just win, even if they play with their food, they're still going to get the top seed in probably the entire playoffs. So how are they going to motivate themselves every night, especially if some of these games are going to be against shit opponents? Like,
my thing is maybe I understand you want to try to put as close as you can to that Golden State 2016 record and then have the best record and also win, which Golden State couldn't do because, Cleveland came back from a 3-1 lead.
Yeah,
I had to get that in there. I just had to get it in there. But I was like, you're going to need to rest these guys.
Mm-hmm.
We just saw with Dallas what happens when you just minutes overload people, and now Kyrie Irving has a torn ACL.
Well, and it's going to eventually happen to all the Knicks players who are playing like 45 minutes a night because that's that's just the hallmark of a Tom Thibodeau team. So it's they definitely need to rest and they definitely need to gear up, especially because Cleveland the last couple of years in the playoffs, like in the NBA playoffs, they got trounced a couple of years ago, and then last year a hard fought series, but just didn't didn't
They
amount to
ran out of
much.
gas.
Yep. So the hope is that there Kenny Atkinson hopefully will come back with a good plan, and everybody on the team over the last couple of years has just learned from what's happened over the last couple of years. So we'll see, and hopefully the lights won't be as big or anything like that. Talking to you, Jared Allen. So hopefully it won't be as big. So,
Yeah.
and any other thoughts that you want to get off your chest regarding the Cleveland Cavaliers or anything NBA related? Any hot takes or anything that
I think I nailed my hot take there about Kyrie Irving. But I did, and I mentioned this on my podcast too. I was like, the amount of angry fans, Mavs fans, that were tweeting at Mark Cuban, and I was like, you do realize he's not a majority owner of the team. He only
Nope.
owns 26% of the team now. Why are you tweeting? And he didn't even really know about the trade.
Nope, he did not, and I guarantee you, if there was any whiff that the trade was even a possibility, like he would have done everything in his power to veto it because
Yeah. But it
that
was just like, I don't know how many I replied to, he doesn't run the team now,
he's not the
right?
majority owner. He's a glorified statesperson for the team. That's
Yeah.
really
He's a
about it
figurehead.
right now. That's
Yeah.
that's it. He's got no real sway or power right now.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be mad at the Dallas Mavericks, which yes, absolutely, people be mad at the Dallas Mavericks because
I mean, I'm mad at the Guardians for trading Josh Naylor.
well, there you go. We will get to that in a minute then. So yeah, be mad, but be mad at the right people. Don't leave Mark Cuban alone, right?
Yeah.
So well, you said it. Let's go ahead and move on to baseball. Since baseball is we're in the middle of spring, or not spring training, but preseason right now for
Yeah.
baseball. And let's are you Guardian? So you said you're a Guardians fan
Guardian.
versus the Reds.
Okay. Guardians are my team.
Okay.
However, sometimes you need a side chick.
Okay. I
Okay.
can support
So the
that.
Reds are my side chick, and it's because my parents were diehard Reds fans. I'm gonna age myself here. They have no problem with it. I was born during the big red machine, like during the whole, we're doing shit in the 70s. So I like grew up. You do not disparage Pete Rose no matter what in my household. My father, at one point, I thought his last words were going to be calling St. Louis's Yadier Molina a son of a bitch. When he was
Wow.
dying of cancer, he had a bad day in hospice while watching a Red St. Louis game. And I honestly thought his last words were going to be calling Yadier Molina a son of a bitch. It's a bittersweet memory because he did hang on for 3 more weeks after that. But they're my side chick. The only time I don't cheer I will watch both. Like I have 2 TVs in my living room. I will have the big TV. The bigger TV will have the Guardians, and the smaller TV will have the Reds without the volume on, unless the Guardians are getting blown out, and then I'll swap them. But, I've got my mom's Reds jacket, like her starter jacket from like the 90s. I've got Reds stuff. I would do, please, Joey Votto, marry me and take me to Canada.
I'm gonna tag him in the social media post for this and just make sure that
Yes. Yes. Yeah. My mom got me blocked by Todd Frazier back like in 2013 because she used my Twitter account to tell him, "Hottie toddy, move your body."
I'm sensing a trend with your Twitter activity, so it's all good. I fully support you with all of this. So, okay. So
Yeah.
the Reds are your quote
Side
side
chick.
chick,
Yeah.
and Guardians are the primary chick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I go home to them every night.
very, very nice.
Yes.
So what have you seen so far from the Guardians in terms of spring training games. How you feeling about this upcoming season?
I'm feeling, well, I was pleasantly surprised last year. It was another one of those situations where they're like, well, we don't know, maybe, maybe they'll finish second or third or what, the Twins are going to win. Only now this year we're hearing, oh, Detroit's going to win or whatever. And then of course Shane Bieber went down after the second game of the season. And then you're like, well, shit, well, we've been eliminated. And then no, pleasantly surprised. Pleasantly, I'm mad at them for trading Josh Naylor. That was my man. I'm a little partial because he wore Jason Kipnis's number, and Jason Kipnis is my all-time favorite Indians/Guardians player. And I actually ran into him on the street in Chicago the day after, I think, Jose Ramirez, his 38th or 39th home run last season. I have my Jose Ramirez shirt on, my jersey, and I'm walking from my chiropractor to the train or something. I feel a tap on my shoulder and I hear this nice jersey, and this guy just walks ahead of me, and I do a double take, and I was like, oh, I was just like, oh, thanks, not paying attention. Then I did a double take. I was like, wait, was that?
Holy shit. Yeah.
Was that? But he was too far ahead of me to without it being awkward of me going, oh my God, you think? So then I went home that night. I make an Instagram reel where I'm like, hey, I think you were Jason Kipnis, and if you were Jason Kipnis, please tell me. And then he comments on it. He's like, yeah, that was me.
Very nice.
OMG. So you'll never know who you will run into just running around in the loop of Chicago.
That is very true. I can attest to that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, well.
But yes, I'm looking hopeful to them doing great things. I think it's going to be the Tigers and the Guardians just button heads all season. I told people not to give up on Bo Naylor, Josh's brother, who's the catcher, because yes, I mean, if I have 3 beers at a White Sox game or something, my blood alcohol level is probably higher than what Bo Naylor's batting average was last season. But I was like, don't sleep on him. He's 24, 25 years old. Don't, he's being mentored by Austin Hedges, who has a shit batting average, but the Athletic just did a story on him on how a vital teammate he is, motivating people, being a defensive catcher. And Bo spent all of the offseason just hitting. I was like, he's locked in. And then what did he do last night? Now, granted, it's spring training. You're hitting off guys that are going to be bagging groceries in 3 weeks possibly, or working at Bath and Body Works.
A lot of ex-baseball players work at Bath and Body Works.
No, literally there's a Guardians player who literally was working at Bath and Body Works when he got called up to Cleveland.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Who knew that the farm system for Bath and Body Works could work out in Cleveland's favor.
I bet you his locker smells great though. He probably had that employee discount. He's probably got candles, everything.
For sure.
But yeah, I think, and then you get Shane Bieber back around the All-Star break, I think.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
assuming everything goes okay throughout the course of the season.
Baffled with the trades, especially Jimenez, but it is what it is.
It is what it is right now, because
now Austin Hedges is my Guardians crush now.
Oh, okay.
It was Josh Naylor. But I think I'm partial to it because Austin Hedges, he's a Leo. His birthday is August 18th. I have realized that Austin Hedges is an orange cat in human form. If you watch the videos of him mic'd up and stuff, Cleveland puts them on their social media and everything. I was like, this man is just an ADHD orange cat in human form. He's all over the place. I'm intrigued.
I'm never gonna fucking unsee this now. I'm just not. And I'm all here for it. So
the man shotguns Red Bulls before games. Stabs them and shotguns them like you would a fraternity boy
That seems
at a frat
not-
party with a 6-pack.
That seems not healthy to do that, but who am I to judge, I suppose?
I mean, the
So
guy has a World Series ring with Texas.
there we go. Star of invincibility.
Yeah.
You do you, man. You do you.
Yeah.
You got any baseball hot takes for this upcoming season or anything that you want to get off your chest? Like, for example, for me, fuck the Dodgers. Honestly, fuck the Dodgers for
Oh,
completely operating under the bullshit rules within baseball. But still, come on. This is so stupid. Why on earth do the LA Dodgers just get to defer everything down the road? Like, I hope all of their players get injured this year. There, I said it. Maybe that's too far.
you're looking at a girl that has cursed teams.
Okay.
You're looking at a girl that has buried Ohio artifacts on the
Ooh.
grounds of Yankee Stadium, and they're welcome to try and find them.
The Yankees have been having a shit go of it lately, so
I'm just saying.
I don't know. There seems to be a correlation there, so
I don't know. And that's the thing. It was the day after they lost the World Series to the Dodgers. It was Halloween. I was in my Scarlet Witch costume, and the guy's like, the security guy that was walking around, he's like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Oh, just filming content for Halloween."
nothing. Don't worry about it. Just
Don't worry. I'm just digging this hole here by the Babe Ruth garden. You'll never find it. Don't look. Don't look. If you're a Yankees fan listening to this, don't look. And besides, you don't even know what I buried.
oh, you'll have to tell me offline what you did, Barry, because I'd be interested to learn about that. All right.
But no, here's my hot take. Fuck Trevor Bauer and fuck Mike Clevenger. Why is the one still in baseball?
Because sports is filled with wild hypocrisy when it comes to everything, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Okay.
Mike Clevenger's there because he's buddies with a minority owner who always allegedly, is his little party pal. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Just
Yeah.
God damn it. All right.
Yeah. There's my hot take. Fuck cheap owners.
And there's a lot of them in baseball, unfortunately.
I mean, Cleveland is problematic. The Dolans are cheap, but they're not the worst of the.
No,
they're not the worst of the. I mean, that's part of the reason the whole name change. They wanted to host the All-Star game in 2019, and the Dolans wanted money. So, Manfred made them work out a deal to eventually change the name.
So, question for you. Did you mind the Indians name?
I still will slip and call them the Indians. It's just going to happen. I've got a whole closet.
Look, if you grew up with that name, like, it's going to be hard. I get that.
Here's what I tell everyone, and they'll be like, Indian, there's some people that are diehard. They will never call them the Guardians. Me, I'm like, Indians, Guardians. I don't give a shit what you call them. You can call them the fucking Cleveland Steamers for all I care. Just win.
Just win.
Just Windians.
Ooh, that'd be
Windians. Just win. That's all I care. I don't care what you call them. Just win.
Such a missed opportunity there with Windians.
I know.
Yeah.
I personally wanted the Spiders.
The Spiders back. Yeah.
I either wanted the Spiders back or I wanted them to be the Avengers because they filmed Avengers in Cleveland.
That would be great, but
yeah,
they settled on Guardians, and Guardians are fine. I suppose.
Guardians of Traffic, Guardians of the Galaxy.
There we go. Cool.
There we go. Everybody's like, "What's a Guardian?" And I'm always like, "Look at the thing. Look at the bridge. It's the Guardians of Traffic."
People. It's great.
Yeah.
So speaking of, I'm going to end with football because nothing's really going on with football right now besides draft stuff. So let's go with Ohio State though, because Ohio State national champions in football. Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I'm sorry, the Ohio State. So
it's the official name of the University. And I know that because I also interned at the State House when I went to the Ohio State, and I looked up the official charter, and it's the official name is the, like in big letters, the Ohio State University.
So I'm going to give you the opportunity. So what do you want? 1, 2, or 3 minutes where I'm just sitting silent, letting you just talk shit up to everybody about Ohio State winning the national title game? Go ahead. Go ahead. How much time you need?
Yeah.
I got you. I support it.
I've talked my shit on my own podcast.
Fair enough.
But I will say that I made after the Tennessee game, because the Tennessee game happened the same day that Ohio State beat Kentucky in basketball. So you've got Tennessee with the dog mascot. You've got Kentucky with the cat mascot. And then you've got this beautiful sound of they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eat the cat. And the Instagram reel has something like, I don't know, let me look, something like insane, like damn near 1 million views or something. It's ridiculous how many freaking views that it has. It's just, and it's literally only like not even a 10-second video. And I'm like, but it's like this picture of their live dog mascot wrapped in a blanket, looking sad. Smokey's looking sad as shit. And it starts with like, they're eating the dogs, and then like it clips to the score, and then they're eating the cats, and it's like the Kentucky mascot with the score of the basketball game. I don't know. Thank you, CapCut, for editing that, because I never could have. But it's timed so perfectly with the music. And then after the Michigan game, may have indulged in a little too much alcohol and possibly some gummy bears of the enhanced variety.
Enhanced. Yeah. Very.
Yeah. They might have been leaded, not unleaded. And I was
I like it.
I was at my friend's in Minneapolis, and I made it look like I didn't really flush the shirts down the toilet. I hate to break this to anyone who saw that video and thought I really flushed all my Ohio State shirts down the toilet. I didn't. This is a confession. It was all for show. But I went on like a solid almost 3-minute rant about how I was going to do very mean things to Ryan Day, and how I was going to, I'm pretty,
Fast,
and I was turning blue at one point, I think, from not breathing and just yelling, and demanding that Brian Hartline be the new head coach. And then I had to eat my words, and I had to issue an apology to Ryan Day, which I did. But I was like,
counterpoint to that. Why? Own your words, and more importantly, perhaps, maybe that was the catalyst that Ohio State needed in order to get their shit in gear. And
maybe I motivated him, because before the Tennessee game, all the Tennessee fans were saying how they were going to march our goalposts to the Olentangy River, which is right there by Ohio Stadium. And I was like, well, hey, if you get to that point, can you just tape Ryan Day to the goalpost? And that caught a lot of shit from the Ohio State faithful, saying like, you should have your degree revoked. You're not a true fan. And I was like, hey, must have motivated him, because here we are with a natty.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, maybe, you know what? It was like you got put on triple probation, 0 tolerance at your job, and you just had to do nothing but be awesome for like the next 4 games.
Model citizen, don't
backtalk to anyone, and you got to keep your job.
Did you, how was it being an Ohio State fan during that run and being like, what is happening right now? What the fuck is this? In a good way, obviously.
Well, let's see. The Tennessee game, I was at my then night job bartending, not that job anymore. But I was like, what the, I'm trying to bartend and at the same time watch this game. And I look up and I'm like, wait, it's the first quarter. It's like 21. What is going on here? And then then the Oregon game. Was it Oregon? Was Oregon next?
Yeah, Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon was next. Oh no, yeah, Oregon
It
and
was
then
Oregon
Texas.
next. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it went dog, duck, cow. Yeah, Oregon game. That was New Year's Eve. I had the flu. I was also still at the job because they made me work.
God.
Part of the reason I'm not at this job.
Rightfully so.
I was like, I have the flu. They're like, that's great. It's New Year's Eve.
Still didn't change the fact that I had the fucking flu.
Hide the fact that it's a health code violation to have me work.
Oh my God.
But yeah, somehow the adrenaline must have kicked in on that because I wore my Ohio State Oregon shirt from the 2010 Rose Bowl. And I was literally taking pieces of tape and because the score's on the back from that game. And I was putting pieces of duct tape over the score and having the host write the updated score of this current game on there.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I ran out of tape at one point. I was like, it's okay. I brought a backup roll. She was like, are we going to do this all night? I was like, yes, we're going to do this as long as they keep scoring.
Fuck yeah.
And then the Texas game, I was just like, oh, I guess we are doing this. And that was a little closer, but.
It was a little closer, but
yeah, it was
that was as dominant.
After that, I was like, they're locked in. I was like, after the Oregon game, I was like,
this is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
They're locked in. They are sick of the shit that they were hearing.
Well.
Yeah. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
They were locked in after that. I was like, whoever wins this Oregon Ohio State game is winning the Natty.
Yeah, for sure. Because with all due respect to Notre Dame, who had they had a pretty great year, and Penn State was the fact that game came down to a field goal. Like this does not bode well for either team at that point. And
well, I may have been up to my witchy tricks again. I may have stolen holy water.
Oh my God, you're just fucking with everyone
really
right
mad. They don't even know how I got on. I was stealthy. Wait until I go to Michigan this summer.
I mean,
I'm just saying, there may or may not be Buckeyes getting planted on the grounds of the University of Michigan.
Well,
desperate times call for desperate measures. I cannot lose to these shits 6 years in a row now?
Okay.
Well, they chickened out 2020, then 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, I cannot lose to them 5 years in a row. It just can't happen.
Slight counterpoint, though. Even as the Buckeyes won the national championship, like, is there like a small 5% solace that hey, next time that you're going into the big house, at least you're going in as a national champion?
Yeah. I mean, there is that solace, but
that's why I only said 5% solace, because I get it.
Michigan problem is they have main character syndrome.
Yes.
Even when they weren't in the playoff, even when they played on a fucking Tuesday bowl game at 11 a.m. that nobody fucking watched, the Who Gives a Fuck Bowl against Alabama.
Love that bowl. It's the best bowl out there.
You don't even have an edible mascot. Shut the fuck up. They said, well, you lost to us. You lost to us. Are you true national champ? I go, at least we'll never have an asterisk by ours.
That is
the hammer is going to come down
at some point.
At some point. The hammer is going to come down, and you're not going to like it.
Probably not.
You're not going to like it. And I'm over there. Well, we're the only 1,000-win team. Yeah, let's go back to 1900 when you were playing high school teams.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't even real schools that you're claiming some of those victories.
Right.
So, I mean, it's intensified, but my cousin lives in Detroit.
Okay.
I have cousins, my cousin by marriage. There's some Michigan fans in the family, but I know. I can't say that though. I mean,
I did it for you. It's all good.
He cooks a very good prime rib at Christmas. Anyway, I will say that when you they take the Michigan state shit more seriously at this point.
Really?
Some of them, literally, my cousin has shown me memos from jobs that say like warn people like Michigan State's playing this week. Please remember that this is a professional environment. He was like, he goes, I need you to understand. They don't send out memos like this for Ohio State, Michigan. They send out memos like this for Michigan State.
Right, right. You know, those two powerhouse teams and such.
But literally, you can go down the street, like in their suburb of Detroit, and literally, like the one house will be Michigan State, the other one will be Michigan, and then you're like, ugh. And then there's me in Ohio State going, I'm like that Simpsons meme where he's like, I'm in danger
What is
on the
happening?
bus.
Oh,
I'm in
yes.
danger. Of course,
Oh,
so I'm the type, I just lean into it. Like when I rode the train from Chicago to Detroit, for Christmas, I had my Ohio State Santa hat on.
oh boy. I'm sure that was
Oh, it was a fun stop at Ann Arbor.
yeah, I can imagine that. But also for you, I'm sure it's like this is worth it. This is
I'm just
awesome.
sitting back, I'm just sitting back and I just like lean back in my chair, and as people are getting on at Ann Arbor, getting off, I'm just like, Merry Christmas. I'm just like leaning back, just smiling, like
Have
looking.
have a blessed day, everyone.
Have a blessed day. Oh yeah. I'm just watching some playoff highlights. Yeah. The
Oh,
Ann Arbor smells like hot dog water. It's swampy hot dog water. Stale, swampy, boiled hot dog water.
I've never been to Ann Arbor,
I've
and
only been through it.
well,
I had to,
with your nose closed, at least.
yeah, I had to roll up the windows the time I did drive.
Well, fair enough.
Oh,
So,
I do like to do this though. There's an app called Touch Tunes, and it's like the jukebox app
mhm.
where you can control jukeboxes remotely. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'll spend like $5, $10 if I'm feeling petty. And I will look up bars in Ann Arbor and play Hang On Sloopy.
This is a level of pettiness that I I really can get on board with. I really appreciate that. Huh.
Oh, you go to Milwaukee? Just or you can do it right here from your home. Just load up, go find a bar in Milwaukee and play Go Cubs Go.
I have so many thoughts right now. Yeah, yeah. Man, I'm so happy I talked to you tonight. This
Play
makes me so happy.
like if you're a Red Sox fan, I don't know, look up a bar in New York and play Sweet
Sweet
Caroline.
Caroline. Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're a Yankees, I'm gonna help you out though, Yankees fans. Look up a bar in Boston and play like some Frank Sinatra. Play some New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Fair-
telling you how to be your best petty sports life.
And honestly, we need more of that sports pettiness because there's just simply not enough of that. So I can get on board with that. And yeah, I know what I'm going to be doing after we talk tonight. So appreciate you as for introducing this into my life. Thank you very much for that. Okay,
Touch tunes. Can I get some free credits?
there we go. There we go. Advertising.
For plugging you.
Hey, help a girl out, please. Come
Yeah.
on, come on.
Help a girl be petty.
So, congratulations to the Ohio State
The Ohio State.
University for their national title in football this year.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I'll let you choose which one you'd rather talk about. Do you want to talk about the Blue Jackets or do you want to talk about the Crew?
The Crew, I don't follow MLS that much because it's impossible to watch.
Neither do
It's
I.
impossible. Thank you, Apple TV, for making it impossible to watch soccer in this country. It is more easy. It's easier for me to access the Premier League
Yep, it's way easier to access
than
the
it
Premier
is to
League.
try to access MLS in this country. Chicago Fire fans can't even watch the Fire in Chicago on local TV.
Well,
But is it even really worth watching?
probably not. No.
If I was to get back into MLS, which, there are only so many hours in a day, but I think I might have to have like a little competition to see where my alliances should align with now, because
Mm,
you've got the Crew. I live here in Chicago. I don't like any Chicago teams. Well, the Sky for now. And I say for now because I know once the Cleveland Rockers are back up in the WNBA, I will be back to Ohio.
That's fair.
Which is fair, but I hope we can, I don't know, take Angel Reese.
How dare you? No, absolutely not.
Should I go grab my like third Angel Reese puffs? I love it. She's on the front of the Reese's puffs. Yeah, but I was like, should I maybe like have a contest like I did to figure out my EPL team? I had like Twitter polls and all kinds of things like which team should I cheer for?
Which team
Aston
did
Villa.
most people who?
I am Aston Villa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But a lot of people were trying to sway me to Man U, which I was like, yeah, bandwagon.
It
It's
seems
very
a little too
bandwagony.
mainstream.
Yeah. Man, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool, obviously like those. But then I ended up with Villa because I'm a huge fan of the band Duran Duran, and half of the band is Villa fans.
There we
And then
go.
I had actually gone to Birmingham, England. Those people are feral. They will party all night.
Mm,
And then at 2:00 the next day, we'll still be partying.
fantastic.
Yeah, I understand now why Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a rat. I mean, a bat because he's from there. I was like, these people
Oh.
are feral and insane, and it's like scary but intriguing at the same time.
All of a sudden, everything makes sense. It's all good.
Everything just makes sense. But the crew, I have many friends that have been season ticket holders since day one. I've interned with them. And then you've got Cincinnati.
Can't forget
But yeah,
about them.
it's hard to follow MLS in this country.
It is very hard to follow MLS. I will agree with you on that. I just out of respect for like a lot of the major Ohio sports teams, I wanted to at least give you the opportunity for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but the Blue Jackets,
tough start to the season.
Tough start.
That fucking
Tough
sucks.
Start. Yeah. Tough start.
Also, not going out on a limb here, but fuck the drunk driver who has like no remorse.
Oh, Sean Higgins
for all of this.
I talked about this on I want to mail this man a postcard every time the Blue Jackets lose. Every time Team USA loses, I want to mail him a postcard and be like, this is you. And I talked about this. The arrogance.
Oh, yes, very much so.
The just audacity of this man. Like when he got arraigned, he was like, "Oh, do I have to stay in jail?
Yeah.
Like it's a holiday weekend."
You killed somebody. Yeah.
You killed two people.
That's right. Two people.
And then his argument that, well, they were more drunk than I was, which yes, they were. Their blood alcohol levels were higher, but it's a little bit different when you're on a bike on the side of the road, even though biking while intoxicated is illegal in New Jersey. We do need to point that out. But
did they kill somebody though?
No, they didn't kill anybody.
Did either? I'm sorry.
Maybe they killed some grass.
Did either of them
riding on the shoulder of the road?
Did either of those guys kill anybody? Like
no.
did his brother? Then fuck him. Like that's not a good enough argument. I
was like, this is your defense? But I love the fact that the Blue Jackets have made sure that his the family has been taken care of. They are treated so well. They are always going to be treated like royalty by that organization. That organization is so class and has been since day one. And you just want to see them at least make the playoffs. Because let's be honest, we all know this. Unlike any other postseason in any other sport, NHL playoffs are a different beast and anything can happen.
Yep, that is very true.
If they just get to the playoffs, we don't know what could happen.
That is true. I will give you that. So, yeah, sucks what's happened to the Blue Jackets and, Johnny Gaudreau as well. That just
the stadium series was beautiful though. Absolutely so well done.
Yeah. So
why did it take us this long to give Columbus an outdoor game? when you had Ohio Stadium there the whole time. I mean, it was so, and at night with the fireworks and everything, never give Ohio State another noon. We had so many, we didn't have, I think we had no night games this year, Ohio State at home. And it's a shame.
That seems weird.
Yeah. It was all because of like the Peacock scheduling or the Big Ten scheduling.
The Big Ten, that's like actually the big like 24.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah. And I was like, you denied us like the red out, like the visuals that the Blue Jackets did with the Stadium Series just proved why Ohio State should have like half their games be night games.
Yeah.
Because Ohio Stadium just looks so beautiful when it's lit up at night. And you can't say that about every stadium. Like some of these old football stadiums that, I mean, you just see like baseball stadiums getting torn down, but football stadiums, but like these college football stadiums are like institutions, landmarks.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Very, very true.
So yeah.
Well, transitioning finally to football. So I would ask you, who do you want to talk about, the Browns or the Bengals? But you have informed me that you are somehow a Miami Dolphins fan. So can you tell me
how does this happen?
How did that happen?
Okay, so I need you to reach into your inner actor here.
Okay.
Did you reach into your inner actor? And your character is going to be that of a 10-year-old girl in the 1980s.
Okay.
Where everything's neon, bright colors, jelly sandals, ponytails on the side of the head. Every girl loves dolphins. We all had that trapper keeper with either the dolphin or the rainbows on it.
It's very Lisa Frank of you.
Yes, the very Lisa Frank. We had the Lisa Frank, the dolphin folder. So 10-year-old girl, nothing is appealing about orange and brown. Oh, you have to also remember it's like, fall and winter in Ohio is cold, dead, and gray. So nothing is appealing as this 10-year-old girl about orange and brown. There's nothing appealing about orange and black. Like, you're like, oh, that's Halloween colors. There's nothing appealing. And then, you're watching and you're like, oh, there's a dolphin on that helmet. That's aqua and orange. It's so bright. It's so, look how sunny it is in Miami. And then 2 years later, you've discovered boys and Dan Marino is pretty. So now Dolphin's pretty, Dan Marino pretty. It kind of stuck. It never went away. And also, like my mom and dad being sports fans or whatever, they were like, okay, well, if you're going to like Dolphins, you got to learn everything about them. I'm not kidding. I still, somewhere in this apartment, because my mom was a pack rat and left me everything when she passed away, have like a Sporting News or a Sports Illustrated or something with Dan Marino on the cover that my freaking orthodontist kept for me and gave it to me because I was like, can I have that when you're going to throw it away? Because I want to, yeah, I'm pretty sure I probably still have it in here mixed up with all my Duran Duran pinups.
Very
vivid.
I like it.
It'd be like the wall. The bedroom wall would be like Duran Duran, Wham, Dan Marino.
Yes. All the men of the 80s that you would definitely expect.
Yes, all the men of the 80s that you would definitely expect. Yes. So then of course, it goes from Dan Marino to Jason Taylor, and then, then
who? Yeah, I was about to say
Tua, my Samoan snack, which I have argued that the Dolphins need to draft Will Howard as Tua's backup because he's everything. He's the 180 of Tua.
Yeah,
he's the 180. He's everything that Tua isn't.
Yeah, because for the Dolphins to not have a competent quarterback backup, last year was negligent at best.
Yeah,
and
it was it was
it was a horrible season last year for the Dolphins.
It was just a nightmare. And it had nothing to do with coaching. It had everything to do with front office.
Yep.
And drafting and free agent moves. But I do keep up with the Bengals and Browns just because my mom was diehard Bengals fan up until she got sick. She was driving around with she had a big Bengals magnet that she would put on the side of her car. We had matching Chad Ochocinco jerseys.
Oh.
Chad once slid into my DMs.
Oh,
I did not go out to dinner with him. It says I posted it on my Instagram because I have a screen capture of it, and it's from like 2014 or 2015 or something. It's like I'd broken up with a boyfriend or something, and it was like, now that you're single, you can date me. And I've literally I put it on my Instagram. I was like, I'm not lying about this. He literally, I mean, I can joke about it now, but at the time, like, we just broke up. I'm kind of like in the mourning period here, Chad. And my mom's like,
are we really that surprised that
no.
Chad Ochocinco would do something like that?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm sure we would have had a lovely date at his favorite Starbucks and McDonald's.
Sure.
It would have been great. And I would have loved it because, I love me a good McDonald's French fry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I do keep up with them. I do, a lot because of having this Twitter and Instagram following, a lot being like all Ohio based except football. I'm not unfollowing people just because it's football season. So I have a lot of friends that are Bengals fans. I have a lot of friends who are Browns fans. And I kind of just, again, I refer it to like the memes. Have you seen the meme of the two people fighting and then the other person's just sitting there with the camera or whatever?
Yes.
I'm the person sitting there with the camera while the Bengals and the Browns fans fight each other. Yeah. And I'm just like, let me just sit back and watch in Dolphins.
And I'm sure that's very fun for you to be in this position because Bengals
and none of us know what the playoffs are.
That is
none of us know what the Super Bowl is.
The Bengals did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So
I might as well have been a Browns fan though, because the Dolphins and the Browns have had the most quarterback and front office GM changes since 2000. They're like literally neck and neck. Obviously
a great list to be on.
Yeah. The only difference is that, instead of Josh Gordon smoking weed, the Dolphins had their front office dealing cocaine.
What was the suspension for all those people?
I don't remember. I don't know. And then we had the whole Richie Incognito thing, which turned out to be completely fake.
Good times, right?
Good times. And we drafted the guy that was smoking weed through a gas mask.
Weed is legal in a lot of places.
I know. Yeah. Like it all comes back to weed.
Well, and Laramie Tunsil right now, he's kind of crushing it in Houston. So
and all the pieces that are in Miami now have come from trades related to him.
There you go. So
there's that.
Win-win. But
win-win.
I mean, but yes, with the front office change and coaching changes, here's something that is very much in favor of you being a Dolphins fan. The Dolphins don't have Deshaun Watson, though.
Exactly.
So,
and they were going to get him at one point, to which I said, if they trade Tua, who's like an angel, he's an angel. Okay. He literally, he's like a saint. Okay. He's Mr. I go to church before I go to the stadium on Sunday, that kind. And they were going to trade him to Houston for Watson. And I was like, if that happens, I'm done.
I'm out.
I'm not a Dolphins fan. I'm not doing this. And then he goes to Cleveland and it's been a shit show. I've just sat back and watched the shit show.
It is
because it's a horrible contract.
Yes.
It's been a disaster. He's overrated. He was overpaid. They just restructured the deal today. And I was like, why? Why are you paying this man anything when clearly he does not give a shit, piss, squirt, cum shot, whatever ever. All he cares about is his money.
Yeah.
He was like doing, I don't know, TikTok dances, which is how he retore his Achilles or something, or playing around on a yacht.
Either way, it's the optics at minimum are horrendous for that.
Mean, the Browns are a crap show, and they have been a crap show, and now you've got the whole, are we moving to the suburbs? Are we getting sued by the city for the Model law? You know, it's like I said, I just sit back and watch the drama, and I watch my friends have meltdowns on social media, and I watch the memes, and I'm just like, okay.
Whoops.
Oh God, this is bad. Oh, I feel for you. Yeah, he's awful. And I don't get the guys that defend him. I don't.
Those guys, there's a word I have for people like that. What's the word I'm looking for? They're just wrong. Like there's nothing
Like,
defensible about.
And it's always the one. And here's the worst thing. It's always the ones that have like shit in their bios, like girl dad, or they've got pictures with their daughters, and I'm like their toddler daughters, and I'm like, no, dude, no. How can you defend this of a girl dad?
There's a disconnect somewhere here that just is not going to play
like
well.
It's like when the Bears played the Patriots this year, and I saw someone on the train wearing a freaking Aaron Hernandez jersey.
Dude, awareness. Like, that guy straight up killed somebody. Like,
he straight up killed two somebodies.
Yeah. Like, come on, you guys.
I'm like, I just don't understand the people that can run around in his jersey and sleep well at night. Maybe it's just me, but I could never. And it's always like I said, it's always guys. Occasionally you'll have a girl or something. I'm like, girl,
seriously,
he's not gonna get with you. It's very rare, but you will find girls that are just like, oh, let it, he's a good football player. I'm like, he's not good.
Like,
he's not good.
He hasn't been good since maybe his rookie year. And like, it's between injuries, and in Cleveland, he's just completely checked out.
Yeah, he's checked out. He's like, this is the problem with like the guaranteed money. He's like, yeah, I'm getting paid.
Fuck it. Whatever.
Fuck it. He's like Bobby Bonilla every July 1st.
Yeah. This is why these bullshit contracts in baseball need to go. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Why would you defer it that far into the future?
Yeah.
But whatever it is.
But yeah, just Sean Watson. It's a mess. It's not going to end well. I mean, the fans, a lot of them don't even want him there at this point. Like I said, there are still few that defend him, and some that are like, oh, he can make a comeback. He can make a comeback. I was like, you don't understand. This man's checked out.
It's like, too far gone. Too far gone, especially for a guy.
Gone at the point that you have players that should be franchise players, like Browns for life, like Myles Garrett wanting to leave because they don't want to play with them. That's a sign that you have to go. It just baffles me, the decisions that they make there in Cleveland. I was like, I feel for my brethren of Ohio followers that are Browns fans too, because it's literally the factory of sadness.
Yeah, it sure is. And however much longer he's on the team for, they're not going to go anywhere, and that sucks because you fucking gave up on Baker Mayfield to get this guy in. And
I just love that he makes them eat shit.
Well, you would expect nothing less from.
But what do you expect from a front office, or an owner that eventually, I don't know how true this is, but supposedly a homeless person told him to draft Johnny Manziel, and he did.
Yeah, that turned out great too.
I don't know the validity of that I don't know if that's just urban legend.
Well,
because I don't live in Cleveland, So, okay, so because I don't live in Cleveland, but liking like Ohio teams, I miss out on some of the gossip and everything. And you know this is true living in Chicago and hearing stuff about Chicago players here
Yeah,
through like
absolutely.
either stuff you hear on the train, stuff you see on Overheard in Chicago,
Mhm.
stuff you hear in the local media. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You
I got
miss
you there.
something. You miss something by not living in that circle or that metropolitan area.
Well,
So
so okay, counterpoint to that. Which story could potentially be worse? So, a homeless guy, unhoused person, whatever you would like to call said individual, not or telling Browns management to draft Johnny Manziel, or Johnny Manziel begging the Cleveland Browns, "Hey, I'm still sitting here. Let's go. Let's roll." What's worse? Somebody who's like, "Draft me, please," or
they're both bad.
yeah, exactly. They're both bad. And regardless of which story is true or not, which doesn't it feel like both those stories are probably true?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
Nothing shocks me with the Browns. At
That's
this point, nothing, absolutely nothing shocks me. Sort of like absolutely nothing shocks me with the White Sox at this point or the Bears.
yes, with the
Yeah.
Bears.
Yeah. Nothing shocks me. Yeah. With those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, any other sports things that you want to chat about before we wrap up?
I think I'm good.
All right.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I think we've covered all the
We've
bases because we've literally been talking for like like an ungodly amount of time. And I mean, I know with this, when we chop and dice, it's not going to be the like 2.5 hours that we've been talking.
true, but to your point though, yes, it's
Yeah,
we have covered a lot of ground,
yeah,
and you know Ohio has had its praises sung. They've been shit on a little
yes,
bit, but that's
yes.
sports at the end of the
Oh,
day. And
Ohio versus the world, as the shirts say, or Cleveland against the world, as the shirts say. But yeah, and I will say this about Ohio as well. The small colleges there, like I said, I went to the University of Findlay. The small colleges there don't always get like the media attention. You've got like Mount Union that's won like a gazillion Division III football championships. You've got the like University of Findlay, which is ranked in like their Division II. They're like ranked in a whole every sport.
mhm,
Every sport they're like they're like the freaking small college, we can do everything. Like their basketball team's ranked. I played tennis there. Their tennis team is ranked. Their football team, I think, was ranked. Swimming and diving was like conference champions and stuff. You've got all the MAC schools that,
mhm,
do MAC things, especially in like bowl season. I
mhm.
mean, you've got University of Cincinnati, which we tease them and tell them that they're little brother. But
Well,
you know, you've got Dayton,
Dayton,
you've got Xavier, you've got Cleveland State. Yeah, I'm trying.
Akron has made the
Akron's
NCAA tournament.
MAC. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They're going to be in the tourney, the basketball tourney, and yeah. But it's Ohio against the world.
Ohio against the world. So,
Yes, Ohio against the world.
well, we will leave it at that.
Yes.
But Amy, thank you very much for
Thank you
coming
for
on and
having me.
talking to me about your Ohio sports team and your Scarlet Witchiness and such. So, plug your shit. Where do you want to send people, and whatever you want to plug, go for it.
Obviously, please listen to the Tortured Sports Fans Department. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. It's Tortured Sports Fans DEPT. We had to shorten department, but there's an Instagram. You can see clips. My Twitter's at Amy Harber. It's HARBER. It is not like a boat harbor. Everybody spells it wrong. I am not related to the actor David Harbour. Instead, I'm related to, oh, I probably shouldn't say that. My brother's an asshole. His name's David.
Say it, I'll cut it. Go.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak freely.
Okay. My Twitter is at Amy Harber. It's HARBER, not OR like the boat harbor. I'm not related to the actor David Harber, though maybe I should lie and say I am, because maybe then I would get more acting roles. Maybe then I could have been in Thunderbolts with Sebastian Stan. So my YouTube is Aimercat, AIMERCAT. But yeah, if you just Google Amy Harber, I'm gonna be like Kirk Signetti here, the coach of Indiana football. I win. Google me. But seriously, like I will come if your name is Amy Harber and you try to ever Google yourself and you're like, who the hell's this bitch? I'm that bitch. I'm sorry that you can't Google ego surf yourself because it's all me.
Don't you dare ever apologize for that. How dare you? No.
And
You own that shit.
if you're in Ann Arbor in June, good luck finding the Buckeyes. I will bury on your campus.
Very nice. All right. Sounds good. I will be sure to plug all your stuff on social media and then plug all your stuff in the episode notes as well. So thank you very much. Looking forward to continuing to chat more again in the future.
Sounds great. And I will definitely have to have you on the Torture Sports Fans department. Start learning your Taylor Swift songs.
I've got a 7-year-old, so yeah, I know Taylor Swift songs, no problem.
Okay, take care.